Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Anne-Marie Butler. I'm the President of the Agricultural Science Association, and I'm delighted to be here with you today on behalf of Certified Irish Angus Schools Competition and ABP to discuss this most innovative schools competition and learn how it is preparing students for careers in agricultural science. I'm delighted today to be joined by two ladies who've had tremendous success in this competition and will share their insights with us. We're joined by Breed-Ann O'Donoghue, who's an ag science teacher in Closh Trassa in Kanturk, and Shauna Yeager, formerly of Our Ladies in Terenure, and now studying agricultural science in UCD. You're very welcome, ladies.
Thanks very much.
If I come to you first, Breed-Ann, and thank you for joining us. You might just introduce yourselves to our viewers and tell us a little bit about yourself and your role as an ag science teacher.
So my name is Breed-Ann O'Donoghue and I'm a teacher here in Closh Trassa in Kanturk, which is based in North Cork. It is a mixed school with approximately 550 students attending. There's a large uptake for ag science every year with classes, maybe 1 to 2 classes per year.
Very good. And Shauna, you might introduce yourself to our viewers, and you're very welcome for joining.
Thank you. I'm Shauna Yeager. I previously went to Our Ladies in Terenure, where I was involved in the competition. I'm now studying food and agribusiness management in UCD, and I'm in my 3rd year.
Very good. And Shauna, you're a previous winner of the competition, so congratulations on that. Breed-Ann, if I might come to you first, you've been involved, as you said, in the competition for a number of years. What first got you interested? And I suppose, why do you continue to encourage your students to enter a great competition?
So the Certified Irish Angus Beef Schools competition is a unique competition, and it's a great competition for agricultural science students, as it is one of very few competitions aimed towards agricultural science. As a result of taking part in the competition, we have seen an increase in the number of students taking agricultural science for senior cycle. I didn't have to really encourage my students to take part. Every single year, students actually come to me asking, when is the competition starting? How do we enter? So it goes from there. The first step involved in taking part in the competition is to create a 3-minute video, and the students get up to all sorts to try and come up with unique ideas to stand out from the crowd and create an enthusiastic and exciting video for the competition. If successful, the students then progress to an interview stage where they're interviewed on their ideas in promoting the Certified Irish Angus competition and the Angus breed to both farmers and retailers. Then, if successful, the students go to Croke Park, where they showcase their ideas to both retailers and farmers again, and they are judged. And finally, if they are overall successful, they are in with the chance of winning 5 Angus calves. We were lucky enough to win the competition, and the students attended the National Ploughing Championships, where they met Miriam O'Callaghan, and she presented them with their Angus calves. This was one of the highlights for the students over their 2 years experience with the competition. They absolutely loved being at the stand for the 3 days, meeting and greeting people, and getting the opportunity to provide information to retailers and consumers and to farmers, and to showcase their cattle to the country.
Which is wonderful, and I must commend you, Breed-Ann. You're the only teacher who has twice entered, had a group reach the final, so congratulations for that in 2016 and 2018, and I think your enthusiasm is infectious there, which is great. So I can see how your students enjoy it. Shauna, if I come back to yourself, as I said, you were part of the winning group of the Certified Irish Angus Schools competition in 2017, so congratulations. But I think it's important to call out that neither you nor any members of your group come from a farming background or had studied agricultural science previous to the competition. So you might tell us a little bit about how the competition informed your view of agriculture or your good experience.
Yeah, it definitely changed my perspective a lot, and the perspective of my teammates as well about the agriculture industry. I'd say before the competition, my perception didn't go much far past, what was in the supermarket shelves. I didn't really think of the processes or all the whole industry that's behind those food products ending up on the shelf. And that was actually one of our questions. We surveyed our school. I went to an all-girls school in Terenure. So when we got to the final of the competition, we wanted to ask this question to our school and see what perspective people had on the industry as a whole. And one of the questions was, where does beef come from? And the most popular answer was the supermarket. So people didn't think past that and all the whole industry and processes that go behind it. And definitely the schools competition was the first and the most pivotal step for me, learning about this whole industry and, you know, really taking a passion for it and obviously taking up a study for it then and hopefully a career.
And obviously, Shauna, then you obviously enjoyed the whole process of the competition. Obviously, Breedan has given us a flavour of all that's involved. I suppose, what was the highlight of the competition, apart from winning, of course, for yourself?
It's really hard to pick just one aspect of it because there was so many small little aspects of it that made it such a great experience as a whole. Definitely, as Breedan was saying, the ploughing, being there for the 3 days on the stands and getting to talk to people definitely was one of the highlights. I think, you know, having not come from an agriculture background, I have friends that are part of farming families and I've always had an interest in it. So getting that practical side of rearing the calves is really enjoyable aspect for me. Being able as well, myself and my teammates, to educate the girls in our school was really, really enjoyable. Everyone took a massive interest in it. We introduced agricultural science as a subject in our school. And since then, we've had a full class every year. There's a waiting list for it. I'm still in contact with my agricultural science teacher from school, and she still says there's a waiting list for it. So it really it gained a massive interest and enthusiasm in the school as well, which made us really proud as well.
It's a phenomenal result. And I suppose, Breedan, if I come back to yourself as an agricultural science teacher, how important is this Certified Irish Angus Schools competition in helping students to further their studies in ag science or in the day-to-day learning in the classroom? How good does this competition assist that process?
So with this competition, students are provided with the opportunity to apply the knowledge that they actually learn in class into a real life setting. So the students reared the 5 Angus calves for 18 months. So they actually use the knowledge from, we'll say, feeding the cattle and to working out live weight gains, to talking about how they're going to graze the grass. And they use this knowledge that they learned in class and they put it into the real life setting of actually rearing the animals. There's a new agricultural science syllabus, and this year is the first year that will be assessed. But the layout of the paper has changed, and a lot of the questions now are asking students to apply the knowledge that they have actually learned. So students might be given like a ration docket, and they might be given cattle weights and asked to calculate the daily live weight gains, the slaughter rates, and actually from practice of students with their animals, when they won the 5 Angus calves, they were actually calculating the live weight gains. They were looking at the ration dockets. They were looking at the ingredients in the ration, and they can actually use that knowledge now and apply it into their actual exam as well. So it's really applicable into their exam. There's a research aspect as well for the Leaving Cert project. It's a 25%. It's worth 25% of their exam, and this is where they research an area, and they have to analyse data. And again, throughout the 2-year process of rearing the 5 Angus calves in the competition, students also carry out a research project with the Angus competition. And the two of these link very, very well, and they overlap, and students can analyse again the weights and they can bring it into their project.
Okay, so tremendous potential and practical application. Shauna, if I was just back to yourself, as I said, you've gone on to study agricultural science in UCD. I'm a former graduate myself, so well done on a great career choice and course choice. You might tell us a little, would you think that being part of this competition was a direct part of you choosing your college course?
Yeah, 100%. Like I was saying earlier, I always had an interest in agriculture, but because I'm not from a farming family myself, I never really would have had the confidence to take the jump and go into a study like agricultural science. And it really gave me the confidence, you know, the fact of just talking to people at the ploughing, you know, being able to present a presentation to the judges and to talk with your other opposing teams from different schools from all around the country. Like, these are all really good interpersonal skills that give you confidence to say that, you know, that you're able to do something that if you really like, if you have a passion, you definitely can, you know, you can go into it. And we definitely gained a big insight into the diversity of career options that are in the industry, from talking to numerous people of numerous different stages of the 2-year competition. And that really gives you a good insight into if I do go to study this in third level, how many different options I have, and I'm not just stuck to one thing. If I go into something and I decide years later I actually want to change to something else, you have the ability to do that.
So Breedan, you've mentioned there in great detail, aspects of the competition and how it operates. You might just maybe comment on, I know one part is that the students then must bring their calf to slaughter. You might just tell us a little about that process, or how the students find that element, because I'm sure for many it's their first experience of processing.
Yes, well, it's such a unique competition. Students, when they actually received the calves at the start, they were provided the opportunity to travel to Care, and we visited a factory there, and we actually saw animals being slaughtered. And the students, I suppose, this kind of gave them the basis of what was going to happen to their animals by the time they were finished rearing them at 2 years. So when the girls, when it was slaughter day for the girls' calves, they carried the calves down to ABP in Bandon, and we took a few photos of the animals, and the students said their last goodbyes. But they saw that it was done in a very safe manner, and the welfare of the animal was really considered throughout the whole process. So the students, of course, they were lonesome to see their animals go, but I suppose they had a little bit of a financial benefit from it also.
Yeah, and I suppose it brings the true cycle to a completion as well, after all their hard work and care of the animal. Breedan, if there'll be lots of ag-science teachers watching this and planning, why would you encourage teachers to get their students involved in this great competition?
I think it's a fantastic opportunity for students to develop many skills. Like I said previously, it's really going through the whole life cycle of the animals, from farm to fork, and they can really apply their knowledge from what they learn in the classroom straight into a real life setting. They learn skills from video recording to presenting to researching, and their confidence grows hugely. They learn how to work as a team, and they learn how to present the information they have gathered to the public. And these are lifelong skills, not just for their leaving cert.
Thank you, Breedan. And Shauna, from yourself, for all the students who are getting ready, even those in transition year and going into 5th and 6th year, and even younger, for people who are in any element of primary school to secondary school, what words of advice would you have for them about studying agriculture and entering a competition like the Certified Irish Angus Schools competition?
Yeah, well, I definitely 100% encourage it. Like Breedan was saying, it's a completely unique competition. There's really nothing like it. And the opportunities that you gain and the skills that you develop from it just are unmatched, really. It's really, it changed. Like, I wanted to do primary school teaching, and even at the end of the competition, when they interviewed us and they kind of said, oh, what job would you like to go on to? I was still set on primary school teaching because I was too nervous to really take that leap out of it. But the competition really gives you that confidence to take a leap out into something. And I haven't looked back. Every aspect of the degree in agriculture that I'm studying now, I love all of the modules, as well as the social aspect, of course, and getting to meet loads of different people from every end of the country, which is something unique to ag in UCD as well. So I definitely 100% would encourage anyone.
Very good. I know it's early days, Sean, and you have plenty of years aside. Any particular area of the course that's particularly enticing you at the moment, or anything that's particularly of enjoyment?
Yeah, so when I started out in UCD, like most people, they start out kind of just in general ag science. So I kind of had a bit of a choice then to see where I wanted to go to, but definitely the business side of it was attractive to me. So that's why I chose food and agribusiness management. And then between that, it's like, one day I love the sales and marketing, which I do. The next day I love the financial side of it, because there's so many different aspects. The competition, it's not until I went to UCD as a third level student and took part in all these different modules and realised that the school's competition really hit loads of key pillars, not only in the ag science curriculum in school, but also at a third level and in the industry as a whole. So it really gives you a well-rounded experience that has you well prepared for a third level education, or a leaving cert education, a third level education, and even a career,
Yeah, well, look, it's been an absolute pleasure, ladies, to meet both of you. You certainly are both advocates for this tremendous Innovative Schools programme. I suppose on behalf of Certified Irish Angus Schools Competition and ABP, I would like to sincerely thank both of you for giving of your time and your insights. I suppose, Breedan, I would like to wish you continued success in the competition and continued success in school. And for all your students, and hopefully long may AG-Science continue. And for Sean, the very best of luck in UCD. And again, congratulations. It's not very many people who are fortunate enough to win, so I'm sure you're all very proud, as was your school. And I'd just like to wish you both continued success, and thank you for taking the time to chat to me this morning.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.